Welcome back, Monroe School District, to part 6 of taking the fear out of Canvas. You should be so proud of yourself. You have come such a long ways. So I know some of you, it's getting a little bit more challenging, but hang in there. You will get it. And the more you practice, the easier it gets. And pretty soon you'll be like, oh, Canvas, this is pretty simple. Today, there's several things that we need to cover today. I'm going to go over some frequently asked questions toward the end of today's session. Some common questions are starting to come up, so we're going to review some of those. My big goal for today is that you really understand the structure of Canvas so that when you go in, you understand where things are coming from and how assignments are pulled into what. And then also that you know how to create links within Canvas to different pieces that you want to link to icons or things you want students to click on to get to an assignment. So those are a couple of my big goals for today. And then we're going to talk about your STEM clock hours at the end and the potential for a continuation of this class. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get started. I'm back at our homepage. And like I mentioned, I really want to talk to you today about the structure of Canvas. And so I'm going to head out to my Sandbox course, and that's my DN course. Yesterday, we imported, pull it up here. Yesterday, we imported a template. Yours may look like this. Yours may look like a secondary one. This is the one I'm just going to look at for right now. So yesterday, we talked about going in and editing your homepage. So, and this can be really simple as putting in your own name in the banner, changing your welcome message. You may wish to change this up every week so that it's more like, hey, this week we're going to focus on, and then some quick instructions for how to get to the assignments for students and maybe even more importantly for parents who are helping their students. So, and then down here, you may have come in and made some changes based on content and what you want to teach when. And so if you haven't done that, I do suggest you do this part first before you move into anything else. And that way, when you go to home, you feel confident that you have a front page for your students that's easily accessible for them. So let's assume that this part is finished and you have made some changes and made things look the way they want to look. Now I want to kind of go behind the scenes. So behind the scenes in Canvas, you have your homepage. This is where students land. And you have a lot of freedom to create content from this point going forward. The way that best practices says that you should organize your content is through a module. So I'm going to head over to my class navigation bar and I'm going to go down to the modules piece. I'm going to go ahead and open this. And this has been created in this template for you so you can already see what these modules are going to look like. At the top, you will notice here's your little bar. This is the title of your module. And then there's content that's built into the module. You will notice that we have several modules already built, or at least the titles, the starting place for each module that has been built into the template. I want to walk you through in a little bit what that looks like to create some of these. But let me show you a couple of tools right now. So in this template, we left in here information, some more how-to videos, how to get started, some helpful tips, just in case you as a teacher want a quick reference you can refer back to. If you don't want to see these, for me, I look at this, I'm like, I don't need that. That kind of feels like clutter on my page. There's a little drop-down arrow here. If you click on that, it is going to collapse that module. That content is still there, but you don't have to look at it the whole time. Let's say, though, that you are interested in looking at your math module and adding some assignments. When you click this little drop-down menu, you're going to see everything that so far has been created in your math module. So these are just essentially placeholders. The assignments haven't been created, just the titles of these. So if you click on this one, it's going to open up the placeholder assignment, and it is ready for you to add the content. The content just isn't there yet. So to add the content, you would come in, you would edit, And this is where you would create that assignment. And we've talked about now how you create assignments. So it's ready to go for you to create that assignment. I am going to head back because, so I'm going to go back to my modules. We're going to talk about now how you can adapt and change things within your module. So I'm going to collapse my math module, and I am going to create a brand new module so I can show you what this looks like. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to add a module. This is going to ask me for my module name. Now, let's take just a moment and let's think about the structure of a module. So consider the module like a textbook. When you have a textbook, you have a textbook that is your content. So you might have a math textbook. The math textbook is essentially your Canvas course. But once you open up the textbook, you're going to see a table of contents where you have chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, etc. Your modules would be those chapters. So a module might be chapter 1. So if you wanted to set up things that way, you could set this up as chapter 1. And within chapter 1, then as you're reading through, imagine your textbook. So you open chapter 1 and there's some assignments. So it might be that you have some reading to do. And then after you're reading, you read 5 or 6 pages, and then there's an assignment. So you complete the assignment and then you move on to chapter 2. And then you do the different assignments through chapter 2. And then there's generally an assessment or a quiz or something to check your understanding at the end of chapter 2. That is essentially the layout of a module in Canvas. So we could set this up as chapter 1, and then we could go through the different contents. Imagine that you're reading a novel and you want to have information in here about a novel. So let's say we're reading the novel Wonder. So I want my module to start off being about wonder. Now, I'm not going to talk about this right now, but for those of you who are ready, you can set this up so that you can have it so that students can go through it. They can go through independently, and you can keep these modules locked until they finish something. So maybe you can't open module number 3 until you've finished module number 2. Anyway, that's what this information is about. That's an advanced skill. We aren't worrying about that right now, but just put that in the back of your mind that there is that option in Canvas. Okay, so I want to create a module called Wonder. I'm going to go ahead and add that module. Now, modules always appear at the end of your content. Remember when we were working on our template yesterday that I showed you could increase that window, that working window with those little dots? Those little dots are ways for you to move things around. So over here, you'll notice on the left side, I have those little grid of dots. I'm going to click on that, and I can drag that because I want this to be at the top of my list. So you can readjust your modules as you go through. So if you finish one module and you want it to be at the bottom, you can move it to the bottom and move the current one to the top. It's really simple to do. If you're struggling with your keypad and trying to click and drag things, if you click on these 3 little dots, there's also a Move Contents button here. So you can move content that way as well. Okay, so now I'm up here. Here's the title of my module. When I click on the expand button, it doesn't expand or collapse because there's nothing there. So I want to add some content. I'm going to come over here to the plus button, and I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And now this is going to ask me, what do I want to add? Now, when I'm thinking about my content, I'm thinking about wonder is really the really big concept, but I'm going to start with chapter 1. And then under chapter 1, I want to have some assignments, and then I want to have a quiz. So that's the way I want to set that up. Always be kind of thinking about the structure. How do you want it to look? So I want to add, I'm not ready for an assignment yet. What I want to add is a text header because I want it to say chapter 1. But I don't want to have this be an assignment. I just want it to say chapter 1 because that's going to help with my organization thought pattern. I can indent this. So again, think of this as an outline structure. Okay, so I have my module, but then Underneath my module, I want to have my header be chapter 1. So I'm going to indent that one level. Okay, great. I'm going to go ahead and add that item. And now you're going to notice that now I have some structure underneath here. When I click on this, there's nothing there because I made this a text header. So I'm not going to attach content or anything to this. I just want it to be chapter 1 so that at a later date, I can add chapter 2 and have information fall underneath chapter 2. So that's the purpose of a text header. It's just really for organization purposes. I want to now, let's go in and I want to show you how you can add something else. So next on my list, I want to add an assignment. So I'm going to look through my list here, and I know there's a lot of things here. You can play around with this. Don't feel overwhelmed. Just in your head go, okay, I want my structure to look like this, and then just hold true to that structure. And I would say I would stick to text headers to break things up, and then I would add assignments. Later, maybe you want to add a quiz. Okay, so I want to add an assignment next. And in that assignment, I'm going to go new assignments. This, if you notice here, it brings up other things that you've already created. Ignore that. Just click on the new assignment piece. It opens up a box here. What do you want to call this? So I want this to be under chapter 1. I don't want my students to read all of chapter 1 and then be done. I want a couple of assignments along the way. So we're going to do pages 1 through 5. Now this is an assignment. I want it to be indented 2 levels because I want it to be collapsed underneath my header. Now I'm going to add that item. And now you will notice that you can start seeing the structure taking place. Let's go in, let's add another one. We're going to come in and add, I want to add another assignment. I want to add a new assignment. I'm going to click on that. Notice how it still has the title in here. I'm going to go in and change. I want now pages 6 through 10. I'm going to indent it 2 levels because I want it to stay at that same position within my structure. And now I'm going to add my item. Now what I have done is I have created a big overarching heading, and then underneath it, I'm breaking it down by structure. Now I have assignments built within. I haven't built the assignments because I'm just creating a structure for myself. Okay, let's do one more thing, and then I'm going to give you some time to practice. I'm going to come back up here. I'm going to add. Now this time, let's say that I'm done with chapter 1. It was a short chapter, 10 pages. So now I want to add a text header because now I want to add chapter 2. So I'm going to go ahead and add chapter 2. And I was indenting my chapters at a level 1 indent. I'm going to go ahead and add that. So now I have added chapter 1, chapter 2. If let's say that I had put all my chapters up top here first, I did chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and then I start adding my assignments. Look, I can just quickly drag and drop those into the right places so that it can be where I want it to be. So it's really a simple way of reorganizing. I can come back up here. I'm going to click on my arrow, and now it collapses that module. If I want to expand it, again, I just click on that little arrow and it expands it. A couple of things. When you come down here, again, when you click on these 3 dots, it's going to give you some different options. Now, I can, if I decide I want my structure to change, I can increase my indentation as simple as coming up here and clicking on that. So I don't like the way it looks. I want it to look a little different. I can just come in, click on those 3 dots, and I can change that structure. If I want to move it, if I want to edit this assignment, I can click here, I can come in, I can edit, and then update that. So these three little dots on the side of each of your little creations, these are your best friend. You're going to love that. Okay, I want you to practice. Now, hopefully you're in your Sandbox course because, again, that's the best place to practice new things. So let's go back, and I'm going to show you again how to get there, and then I want you to give this a quick little practice. So we're on our dashboard, and come out and find your Sandbox course. You're going to open your Sandbox course, and look at that. It's like, oh, look at that beautiful homepage. My students are going to see this. Yay. Okay, but we want to go to the structure behind. So we want to come over to modules because, again, we're kind of thinking about that structure and how we want to build content. I'm going to click on modules. And this is going to bring me to my modules page. I'm going to collapse that. Probably when you get here, you're going to see this. Collapse it. Let me give you a hint. If you're like, I do not want to see that at all, I wish it was gone, click these three little dots, go down to delete, and you can delete that whole module right there. So here, let me just show you. Delete. Are you sure you want to delete that module? Okay, bye, it's gone. Be careful though, because once it's deleted, you aren't going to get it back. So now that module is gone, and now I just have my student content in front of me. Okay, so I'm going to click on Add Module. What do you want to call it? So again, think about your structure. How do you want your content to be structured? Think of your structure, and then you're going to add a module. Once you've added your module, then you're going to click on the plus button, and you're going to start adding the structure that you want within your module. So if you are in social studies, maybe you want to go by chapters. Chapter 1, what's the content? How do I want this laid out for my students? How do I want my students to be able to get their content? And this is help for them, but more importantly, it's probably help for you so that you can organize your thoughts. Let me just show you one more thing. Again, if you're at the end of chapter 1, oops, we don't want a new module. We want within our module. If you want to create a quiz at the end of chapter 1, okay, I want a new quiz. What's my quiz name? Let's call it chapter 1 assessment. Okay. And then my indent, I want it 3 levels now because I want that to be the last thing, but it's still going to fall under assignments, or maybe I'm going to move this to assignments because I want it to fall under assignments. This is your group that you created. Secondary, remember, this is your Skyward group. Elementary, everything's going under assignments. I'm going to go ahead and add my item. And now notice it's chapter 1. It fell under chapter 2 because it always puts the newest content at the bottom. I'm going to click on my little dot grid, and I'm going to move this up because I want it to fall at the end of my chapter 1 work. So as simple as that, I've created a structure. Okay, what I would like for you to do right now is to go ahead and pause this video, and then I want you to go out to your Sandbox course and admire your homepage. After you've admired your homepage, come over, click on modules, and then add a new module and start playing around with what that structure can look like for you and for your students. And then as soon as you're done, come on back here and we will continue. Have fun. Welcome back. Okay, so I hope you had fun doing that. I know there's just something about creating structure that I think gets really exciting. So, but more importantly is that now you're really getting into Canvas and you're really starting to set up the pieces that need to be set up for your students to be able to add content. All right, so now that you're here, just a quick reminder, anything you want students to see needs to be published. So when you're working in modules, if I publish this module, it is going to automatically publish everything in the module. If I don't want students to see anything from chapter 2 yet, or the assessment, we're just going to stick with pages 1 through 5. I can unpublish all of those and only publish the ones that I want students to be able to see so far. And once that has been, once I have that set up in place, now I want to show you how you can link content for your students. This is such the fun part. Okay, so now I'm going to head back home. Once I'm home, I'm back to my home page, which is beautiful. And I want to be able to link my content so that when a student comes here, they see this home page and they're ready to do their assignments. They come down and on Monday they see math and they want to go ahead and they want to do their math assignment for Monday. I want them to be able to click on that, and as soon as they click on that icon, it takes them right out to the assignment. So I'm going to show you how to link that so that you know how to do that, because you're going to need to change this. So if you're using this type of template and every week you have assignments for students, you're going to need to change this by Friday so that the following Monday, when students go to click on Monday, they have the new assignment for that week. So this is really simple to do. Let me show you. First of all, we need to come in and edit. Once we've gone to edit, I want to make this a little bit bigger, so I'm going to grab my dot grid. I'm going to pull that down just a little bit. And now I'm going to come to my box. So if I want to link this math, I'm going to go ahead and select that. And again, remember, anytime anything is selected with the blue bar around it, now you can make changes in the Rich Content Editor up here. I'm going to come over to this icon that shows a link. I'm going to click on that link, and I am going to, first of all, remove the link that's currently there. I'm going to come back. Notice how it's still highlighted in blue. I'm going to click on that link button again, and this time it pulls up course links. So I'm going to click on that, and this is going to ask me what do I want within my class that I've created to link to that little picture icon. Well, I know I created everything in assignments. Now assignments are housed under modules, so you're not going to see modules here. You're going to see the assignments. It's just the structure, the module. So now I see all of my assignments, and I'm going to notice that here's Monday's work. Okay, so Monday the 13th, this is where naming becomes really important, that you know what you've named your assignments and you know which assignment you want to put where. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this Monday, and it turned green for a quick second, and it attached that link. So now I'm going to come on down here, and I'm going to save. Remember, in Canvas, you always have to save. Okay, and that is now saved. Now that I'm out of edit mode, I can try this. I'm going to click on that, and voila, that brings me to that assignment. So let's go back. Let's try this again. Try it several times, become really confident, really familiar. It is really simple to do. Okay, so remember I just created that content for my Wonderbook. So I want to assign on Monday pages 1 through 5. So I'm going to, again, come up here to edit. I'm going to click on my little dot grid because I want a little bit bigger workspace. I'm going to scroll down here until I find my language arts for Monday. I'm going to click on it. I notice the blue box. I'm going to head up here to my link. I'm going to click on link. I'm going to remove that link. That's really important. If you click on edit link, it doesn't give you the option to bring up something else. It just wants to edit that one that's already there. So I'm going to remove it. Notice the blue box stays there. Click on my link again. Now I want to link to something I've already built within my course. And I'm going to assignments because I've created everything in assignments. Some point down the road, we may get into quizzes. That's for a later date. And so now within my assignments, here's my pages 1 through 5. Notice it's green because it's published. It tells me if it's not published because I didn't want to publish pages 6 through 10 yet. So I want to assign pages 1 through 5. I'm going to click on that. Okay, and now if I come down to the bottom and I'm going to save, once I've saved that, I come back to my icon. I'm going to click on Language Arts, and there are my pages 1 through 5. So it's all set and ready to go. Wasn't that easy? Ah, I love Canvas. Okay, so let's head home. And what I would like for you to do right now is to practice now building those links in so that you can see what it looks like to build in a link. Again, you're going to edit, click on edit. You're going to find whatever it is you want to edit. If you want to edit this math link, you're going to come up here. Remember, you first of all are going to remove the link. Once it's removed, then you're going to click up here and you want to add a course link. It brings up options for you. Find in your assignments the assignment you want to link it to, click on it, and it's done. That simple. So let's go ahead and pause, and I want you to go practice creating links to things that you have built within Canvas right now. Have fun. Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you found that to be fun and easy to do. If not, remember we have live help sessions this afternoon. So now you've learned how to link content within your course. Next, I want to talk to you about how do you link to a site outside of Canvas. So for example, if you want students to be going into iReady during the week, then you can go in. The other day I showed you how to bring an icon in for iReady. Some of the templates have iReady icon already at the bottom. But if I want to now have my students be able to click on here and to get out to iReady so that they can go and work in iReady, there's a couple of steps, but it does require an external link. So this is going to teach you how to import an external link, but I also want to talk to you about iReady. So I'm going to go ahead and head out to the Monroe School District homepage. Once you're here, as a staff, go out to online resources. And in your online resources, you're going to notice that here we have Clever. So this is where we're going to get the link, because students need, when they're doing iReady, they can't go directly to iReady. They still need to go through the Clever portal to be able to access iReady. Let me draw your attention to something really quick. Here are some Clever at-home login instructions. This is really important that you make this, that you are aware of this, and that you also provide this information to parents so that they know to either go there, or you can also share this link with parents, because there's specific ways that they need to log into iReady from home. So just to let you know where that is in our website. Okay, so how do we link an outside link into Canvas? So we're going to do that with Clever. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and this is going to open up this, this window to get into Clever. I'm going to come up to my address bar, and I'm going to highlight it, and then I am going to copy it. Control-C, I'm going to copy that link. I'm going to go back into Canvas. Now that I'm in Canvas, I'm going to come up and edit my home page. And then I'm going to use my little dot grid, make it just a little bit bigger, scroll down to where I want to link this. So I want to link this into my iReady picture. I'm going to click on that. Again, once it's highlighted, I'm going to head over to the link button again. This time, I want to put in an external link. So I'm going to click on this, and this is now going to give you an option for text. If you are putting a link in somewhere where you want that text visible, great. We don't need to right now. We are just worried about putting in the address here, and then Control-V is going to paste that address. Now I am, let me see here really quick. Okay, so, oh, there you go. I made it just small enough where I can click underneath my picture. I'm going to go ahead and click done. And now that should have added that link right into my iReady. Let's save it. Sorry, this little picture makes it a little difficult. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and save that. And now when I click on that, let's see where it takes me. So I put that external link in there. I'm going to go ahead and click on my picture on my link, and look at that. It takes me out online. So making online, creating external links within Canvas, it's really super simple. So you just have to make sure you're clicking the right button. Let's head back into Canvas. So now you know how to link content within different icons, and this will work whether you are a kindergarten teacher or a high school teacher. Creating those links and making icons, making it easy for students to find the information you want them to find. So I hope that you're thinking about lots of different ways that you could use this as a tool within Canvas. But on a simple scale, getting back to the structure of Canvas. So you have your home page. Within your home page, you have set up links for students to be able to access content. The content for you build it through modules. So you're going to come out to your modules, and you're going to build that content in modules. Everything you build is going to be built in assignments. And so you build these assignments over here. You can publish them or unpublish them as you see fit. Just remember, for a student to see it, it needs to be published. Now, I can still put this link into my little box for Friday. If this is unpublished, if I don't want students getting ahead, and going on Monday, going through the whole week, I can just leave this unpublished and they won't see it until Friday when they go to click on that link. If you want them to have access to the whole week, then publish everything for the whole week, and then it's all there ready and available for them. But everything in here is the content that students will easily get to because you created links to that. This is where you will do the work in terms of creating assignments, etc. Now, what does that mean in terms of looking at this assignments tab? This is just, again, it's a house for the assignments. So it just takes the structure of your modules away, and it just shows you all the different assignments that have been created and the different categories that they've been created. Remember, on one of the days I built a new component in here. So it just keeps track of all of those under an assignment tab for you, so that if you want to just look and see what assignments you've created, you can come in here. You can create assignments through here as well. My strong suggestion is that you create everything through modules. It's built right here, and you have the same access to anything here that you do in assignments. It's just another place to house things. I hope that makes sense. So structure for you is building your homepage, coming into modules, building your modules. Once you have built your modules with the structure you want, you can continue to add to that. Once you're ready, you can click on that, and now you can come in here and you can create your assignment. And we talked about this using the Rich Content Editor. How do you build your assignments? Build your assignments, save it, and now you know how to link those assignments back to the icons on your home page. So look at that. You now have the ability to create content, to publish that content to students, and to have students access it from your homepage with the click of an icon. You should be so proud of yourself. Take a moment, look through everything again. I just want you to go through what I just showed you, so that I really want you to feel like you have a really good idea of that structure. You're at your homepage. From your homepage, you're clicking on modules. This is where you can build modules. This is where you can edit different things. This is where you can create those assignments. You can make changes with your three little dots. You can create, if you are an elementary teacher, you can create all of your subjects here as modules, and you can do all the work through here. If you're a secondary teacher, you can create your modules based on content. You can organize your modules with these text headers. So, and it's as simple as that. And then going back home and making sure you've created links where you want to have links to content. And that can change depending on your organization structure. I think something like this that makes it easy for students when they're at home and easy for parents when they're at home to know when things are due and when the assignments are is a really great thing to do. So, okay, I want you to take a moment. And again, I just want you to go back through all of that, and I just want you to look at the structure we just walked through. All right. Welcome back. I hope that you are really proud of yourself and that you feel really confident, because I know you can do this. And if you have questions along the way, we are here to help. Please reach out to us, and we are going to do the very best we can to help get you answers to those questions. I want to move to some frequently asked questions that are out there right now that we're getting, because you may have these questions. So some people are struggling with, when I first go to add some kind of a Google document or a Google something into an assignment, it's telling me that I have to log in first. So let me show you what's happening. I'm going to edit an assignment. And once I'm in this assignment, I'm going to go over to my Power Plug, and I want to add something from my Google Drive. So I'm going to click on this. And at this point, people are not getting their Google items. Let me head out to this page over here. Instead, what people are seeing is they're seeing a document that says they can't log in. So what you need to do, if you notice this part right over here, what you need to do is scroll to the bottom of that page where it's just a blank white page. Scroll all the way down and you should see this button that says authorize. Click on that authorize button, and it just wants, the first time you're in, it just wants you to authorize your Google content. After that, then anytime thereafter, you should be able to start pulling up your Google whatever. So just when you see that white box, scroll all the way down to the bottom of that page, and you should see that authorize little button. Okay, so that's one frequently asked question. Another thing that's happening is that people are seeing the little I with the slash through it. And so when you're trying to add an announcement, but the option in your menu still has an I through it, that's because probably students aren't in that course yet, or you need to go into your settings and you need to move that into the area where students can see it. But things are going to look a little different in your Sandbox course when you don't have students than when you're working in your class when you do have students in already enrolled in there. Okay, I accidentally imported the wrong template into my class. What do I do? If you accidentally import the wrong one, let's go back here. I want to show you this really quick because this is actually a really important thing. So let's say you're here and you imported this and you're like, that's the wrong template. I didn't want that one. This is a page. So this was created as a page. If you come over here to pages and click on pages, here's your home page. If you unpublish this, anyway, I probably have to go in and do some editing. But if you unpublish it, then when you go home, it should change that. Probably I probably need to choose my home page here. This is probably too much, I'm sorry. If I come over here, click on course modules, save. Now my home page looks different. If this is too much, just ignore me right now. If I come over here to pages, now I should be able to unpublish this. Oh, that's weird. Let me see if I edit it and unpublish it. Well, looky there. If it was me and I'm you, I would be reaching out for help right now. So I'm sure it's a quick and easy fix, but I'm not going to spend your time going through here with this. But if you do accidentally import the wrong things, you can unpublish things. Let me head back home. I want to show you this really quick again. You can change your home page, what students see. Right now I have set it to modules, so this is what students see when they come in. Choose my home page. I want to go to this pages, save. And now this is what students see. So if you want them to have a totally different look, you can create one all by yourself and you can choose your home page right here. So another frequently asked question. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk to you about, I'm getting lots of questions and I love this one. We want to collaborate together as a PLC, and then we want to create the content and be able to push that out to our students. What's the easiest way to do that? This is best practice for that. This is my suggestion. There's a lot of ways that you can do that. Let's say this is your homepage where you have students. This is your class of students. So I would create your homepage the way you want it laid out. I would leave it like this. I would leave it so students can come and click on whatever it is you want to click on. So this is your personal class. Then, as a team, I would head out to your dashboard and I would have one person come out here and start a new course. And maybe this is going to be 5th grade. Actually, call it this, please. Call it Blueprint, 5th grade. And I'm going to create the course. Once I've created that course, I'm going to come in here to people. And I showed you this the other day, I'm going to add people in here that I want to be able to create the content. So if there's 3 teachers, I'm going to add people in here and I'm going to add all 3. Just remember to change that role to teacher. That's really important, or else they won't be able to create content. Okay, so you're going to add the teachers in here. And now you're going to have everyone with the same access to add content. When you go home, right now, the home page is set up to be a module environment. I would leave it this way. On your home page, now you're going to come in, you're going to create those modules. We just talked about that earlier. I would create my content right here in modules, add the assignments, etc. And I wouldn't fancy anything up. Once you are ready to start publishing the content from here, reach out to Nile or I, and we will make this a blueprint course. By making it a blueprint course, we can associate the classes of those 3 teachers with this particular course, and then content can be pushed out to those classes. But you're only pushing out the module content because that's all that's here to be pushed. If you had the fancy home screen right here and you use the module and and use the template and used everything from there, all of that is going to be pushed into the class. And so then if you, on your home page, if you made a really cool home page that was all about you, and even down to just saying let's see, I'm getting too many classes in here. And so if you use a class that has this template as your blueprint course, this is going to be pushed every time as well. And so it's going to be changed. It's not going to say your name in here. And maybe you just want to say like Chain Lake Elementary 5th grade, and you want to use a blueprint or you want to use the template. That's okay. It will all get pushed. But whatever that you build in that course, that's your blueprint course, it's going to get pushed into all the other classes. So my strong recommendation is that you create a shared course with your teachers that just has content, and it will get pushed out here. And then the teachers can still have their individual information on here, and they can still adjust things the way they wanted adjusted. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, reach out to Nile or I, and we will help walk you through that. So anyway, that was some frequently asked questions that have been coming through. Some information on organizing your course. I know we've gone really long today. I apologize for that, but I really wanted you by the end of today's session to feel confident that you have a strong landing page for students, that you know how to enter your content into Canvas, and that you know how to link that to buttons that students can now collect that information. So let's talk about moving forward. Moving forward from here, there's still a lot of things you're going to want to know how to do with Canvas. And this course, I had set it up to end today with the video segments. This is what I've decided to do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have this class now end on April 30th. And I'm going to increase the number of clock hours that you can get for this course. And I will continue to build video tutorials that you can continue to take so that you can learn more and more about Canvas. This is where you can make a decision. If you want today to be your last day, what I would like for you to do is to take that Google document that we've been working in. At the bottom of the Google document, say, I have finished and I would like to get my 7 clock hours. And then I would like for you to share that document with me, please. If you wish to continue on with this course, then don't share that with me. Please don't share anything with me. Just continue watching the videos. And then along the way, we'll continue adding work onto that document. And then that document you'll submit at the very end. So right now I anticipate creating 4 to 5 more video tutorials, but I know it's going to continue on even past then. So it's really going to be up to you how much more you want to learn. Let me tell you some other things, though, that I think is going to be important. So there's a speed grader feature, and that is something that you, at some point, you're going to want to know how to, once students start submitting content, how do I grade that? The speed grader, you're going to just absolutely go crazy for how easy it is to grade in Canvas. It is awesome. So we'll talk about that. You're probably at some point going to want to know, how do I create assessments? You will probably want to know how you can share content with other classes of things that you've created. So we're going to go over that. There's a discussion feature that you can add discussion so students can discuss a topic. There are cross-listing of courses. Let me just tell you, I haven't even mentioned my very, 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 very favorite tool in Canvas, and I'm just going to mention it right now. I'm not going to show you because I don't want to overwhelm. But there is a feature in Canvas where you can create an assessment, and you can build into that assessment different levels of instruction. What I mean by that, they call it mastery pathways, is that a student takes the assessment, and depending on the score they get from the assessment, content gets pushed out to that student. But it is individualized content based on the score they got. So if you took a quiz out of 10 and you got 9 out of 10, your content will look different than someone who took that same assessment and got a 2 out of 10. And Canvas automatically pushes out that differentiated instruction. So anyway, we have lots more learning that we can do, but I hope that you feel like you have the basics and you have enough to get started for today. If you want to continue on with the class, you don't have to do anything else. If you wish to end the class now, send me that document and tell me that you're finished. That's all you have to do. Okay? So it's really as simple as that. Today, I have one more STEM assignment for you, and I know this has been a long video and a long work, but I want to talk to you just for a quick moment about STEM careers. So when you head out to, after you watch this video today, you're going to see a tab on here called STEM Careers. I would like for you to open that up and take a look at this. So this is a document that has put together a lot of STEM careers, STEM fields. And as you look through, you'll see here's the STEM disciplines that go with them. What are the occupations? And so as you look through, I think it's really important as teachers that we are familiar with the jobs that are out there because they are changing. They predict that jobs of the future will be 60% different than they are today. So as a teacher, it's super important that we are up to speed with what those fields are, what those occupations are. I bring you back the other day, I told you that our 8th graders had no idea, for the most part, STEM fields, STEM careers, what those are. As you look through this list of careers, I am wondering how many of our seniors would even know half of these career fields and what they are. And that is something that I think we need to start adding into our instruction, is how what we're doing relates to career fields of the future. So I would encourage you to take a look at this and to look at these different careers, see which ones you know. If there's some you don't know, if you click on that, it will open up for you. So I clicked on chemical engineers, and it tells you a little bit more about chemical engineering. Now, what's interesting, it talks to you about what are some things you do, what are some skills you need to know. Look at these technology skills. I can tell you that jobs of the future are going to need students to have technology skills, no matter what that field is. They need to have some basis of computer science knowledge. And that has changed from when I went to school. It was like 1% of the population had any clue what computer science even was. And even then it was crazy. Nobody wanted to do that. It's way different today, and computer science looks way different today. If you continue to scroll on down, it talks about skills. I really want to draw your attention to these skills and abilities. Look at this for chemical engineering, written comprehension, the ability to read and understand information, be able to write down information. So those of you who are wondering, I teach ELA, what does that have to do with STEM? A lot. So look through some of this and just maybe spend about 10 or 15 minutes. This is your STEM component for today's assignment. Find a job, look at these different pieces, and just try and connect what you teach to something that has to do with this career field. And then I guess on your sheet, on your Google document, if you would just write down a couple of things about STEM careers and how you can make that connection within the classes that you teach. Is kindergarten too early to start talking about STEM career fields? No, absolutely not. So think about, if every day of the school year you just connected something of the learning that students are doing to a career field. So maybe you're talking about math, or you're talking about angles. And we know that in automotive engineering technicians, they need to know angles. So maybe you say, if you're a mechanic, if you're an auto mechanic or you go into auto engineering, you're going to need to know how to use these angles to do this. If you draw attention to a STEM career every day of the whole school year, that's 180 times that students are being exposed to STEM careers, so that when they become seniors, they could look through this list and maybe they would say, yeah, I have at least heard of what a biostatistician is. Maybe I'm interested in that field. Whereas if I'd never heard of it, I wouldn't even know it was a possibility for me. So there's my STEM pitch. I just feel it's so super important these days that we are helping provide our students with knowledge of career fields. So with that, I'm going to head back over here to Canvas, because we're going to celebrate the fact that we have a homepage, a place for students to land. And it's been super fun working with you this week. Please continue. I'm going to try and make the videos just a little bit smaller in the future, and a little bit more specific towards some specific skills. So have a great spring break, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.